the hydrogen system. I know there's going to be a ton of questions that truck owners are going to have, and they've asked me to have a guest on to talk about hydrogen as it pertains to diesel. And they've been really excited and they're hopeful for it. How does it work on, like for a truck owner out there that wants to run something like this? How is the kit set up? How is it controlled? How do they use it?
Okay, so that particular truck you're talking about, that is our onboard unit, which is this white box over here. That's a pretty small unit. It'll go underneath the tonneau cover of a pickup truck. It has to be in that box. There's a lot of geometry inside that to make that work, but it's set up engine specific. So that unit that's in that truck is literally programmed for a 6.7 Cummins engine. So basically at idle all the way to full throttle, we're making a specific amount of hydrogen to get those results. And we have done extensive exhausting testing on that truck to have zero emissions coming out the tailpipe while driving down the road on that truck. So it's real live data on that particular truck.
Yeah.
So that's how that works. And that's why you see it at it's 0.01 or 0.01 the whole time with hydrogen. And it's pretty crazy because on that actual video, we actually turned the hydrogen off for a while so the DPF would get dirty. And then we did that whole analysis. So I don't know if you're aware of it, but Gale Banks makes a big deal about this. For every pound of back pressure you lose, you're putting on that DPF before it comes out, the exhaust pipe, you're losing 4 pounds of turbo pressure to the inlet. That is a huge difference. So if you have 3 PSI of back pressure on that DPF, you're almost losing half of your turbo pressure into the engine. And that's why all these guys that have, the Duramaxes and all that really get on their trucks, they'll come to me and I'm losing top end power, but I have no light. So I'll go in and plug in into the J1939 or OBD2 port. And I'm on, look, even at idle, you got 0.5 pressure. But then when you're on the throttle, you're up around 2.5, 3 pounds of pressure. As you saw in that video, I'm driving down the road at 70 and it's got 3.6, back pressure. So you lose a lot of power when that DPF is not clean, even on a new vehicle, even a brand new vehicle, 6,000 or 7,000 miles, you're already in the 10% range of back pressure gain compared to it being brand new.
Yeah.
So that's why that gain was so huge. But we do that with a lot of people. I do a lot of F-150s and Duramaxes, like I said. And it's funny because the customer will call me right back within a couple of days and goes, man, my truck is getting over 20-something miles a gallon. Never got that before. And I go, that's because the DPF is so clean. So it lasts for what? On a light duty truck, about 20,000 miles? Yeah, I'm running there about 20,000 miles.
That's with
the carbon cleaning.
Yeah, to do that.
But the onboard is on all the time.